Hi, welcome back to our show. I'm Carol Wyman, and I am at World of Concrete. We're at the Coatings Coffee Shop booth, sponsored by Tremco, and I am here with Bill. And when you hear about his concept and what he's working on, it's going to be incredible to hear. So, Bill, why don't you tell us about yourself and why you're here?
Well, I grew up in Iowa, went to college in California, found my way to Alaska to work for the state government back in 1971. About 15 years ago, when we were really beginning to understand the problem of climate change, global warming, global climate change, I said we need to make better small buildings, houses and schools and so forth, than the way we now build stick-built, which in the last 15 years have proven to be totally inadequate to the storms and the heat that climate change is bringing to us. I said, let's build them out of thin shell concrete. And we did. And this is an example of thin shell concrete that we used in a prototype that we built in Juneau of a way to enclose space and volume with a minimum amount of material. Concrete is a wonderful material, but we abuse it, we misuse it, we pour it by the cubic yard, cubic meter, huge structures. We could be building out of half-inch thick concrete instead.
How do you keep the form for this? And do you have a mold, or how does that work?
It's a single-sided form.
Okay.
We put up the form. Now these are small buildings, and they must be quasi-spherical. That means they must have large radii of curvature. Think a dome of some kind.
Right.
Because if you have a corner in concrete, you have a stress concentration and it cracks.
Yep.
Can't have that.
Right.
So these form sets go together very quickly. The primary reinforcement is carbon fiber epoxy grid. That's the black stuff in here. So there's no steel in here to rust.
Right. Okay.
So now we put the mortar on. This was all put on by hand. You can see it's a little rough. And let it cure, go inside, take out the forms, and now we're ready to use that same form set to build the next one. So we can build hundreds of these things. A crew of 3 with a set of forms should be able to build one, that is, enclose it, so it's warm and dry and insulated about once a week. One house per week. So the old stick-built houses where you got the framing and the siding and the sheetrock and the roof to blow off, there's no roof to blow off this. This is quasi-spherical. It's like a dome-shaped thing.
Right.
So
it
that's
looks
very
a little
important.
bit like an igloo, but it can be much larger than that. Was your prototype.
Yes.
Tell us about what you did really 17 years ago now. Tell us how you did that, what you did and how you tested this.
We decided to build a scale model. Rather than try to build something the size of a house, it's pretty risky and expensive. We just built a scale model. It's big enough to shelter a homeless person, but it's not big enough for housing. So now we need to find joint venture partners. Our tiny company in Juneau has no employees and no money, so we need somebody who sees the vision. There's a global market for this. Then we need to migrate. So we built the scale model and tested it. We tried to break it by putting a meter of sand on top of it, and it didn't break. It just scrunched down 10,000ths of an inch. And then I had something else to do, and nobody was interested in this. The climate change problem was not severe. So we left it in the woods at a friend's house for 14 years.
Wow.
Came back and said, times have changed. Climate change is getting worse fast. We're going to need these. Let's go see what's left of what we left in the woods 14 years ago.
Yeah.
So we power washed off 3 inches of moss, and we found it only weathered about 0.5 millimeter, just a tiny bit during that 14 years. It was good as new. So now I'm going around World of Concrete, for example, and trying to find people who see the vision and say, we'd like to be part of this. We'd like to invest in this to go to the next stage. Make some prototypes at full scale, big enough for housing, school modules, shelter people, and do some testing and see if this is really going to make technical and economic sense to do.
Yeah.
Then we go global.
Wow, wonderful. So who are the people? Obviously you need to have joint venture partners. You need to kind of create, attractive sense for this to happen. Who are you talking to, and who have you talked to at World of Concrete?
Anybody who will talk to me
good.
here.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
Anybody whose company or organization seems to be interested in this kind of thing.
Yeah.
And every conversation is different. Every person has a different perception on what we're trying to do and what the potential might be here, and different questions and different things to worry about. Well, what about this?
Yes.
So it's a perfect place to be exploring this. Now, not
Yeah.
everybody and every booth and every company is going to be interested, so I have to wander around and try to.
No, but there has to be a lot of curiosity
There
from
is.
people who have been out there, and
There is.
I think there's always a part of a company, and even if it's a giving back company, and what if it's a company that is doing any research or trying to figure out what you're saying as far as the climate change, I can only imagine the interest must range from all different types of people are interested in this.
We know that we are in a climate emergency. We know we have to stop putting greenhouse gases into the planet's atmosphere. We know that making Portland cement, the gray stuff that goes into concrete, puts a lot of CO2 into the atmosphere.
Right. So you mentioned that this actually helps with, how hot everything is, and it kind of protects you, but it also helps in the cold. I mean, so it's not
Yes.
just one, it's not just solving one problem. It's actually really helping with, every type of climate.
Well, since we
right?
have proven that this thing can be totally buried in a pile of dirt, sand in that case, without even deforming it more than 10,000ths of an inch.
In Alaska.
We did that in Alaska.
In Juneau, Alaska,
Sand
area?
is sand is sand. We can do
Yeah.
it in Florida as well.
Right, sure.
And there's no roof to blow off. That means that there's potential for this to be very economical and strong and solve the problem of the roof blowing off when you're experiencing a hurricane someplace.
Yes, and I think bringing economical solutions to so many people in need too.
Economical and earth saving.
And earth save, yes,
Yes.
absolutely. I think that's fascinating. So I'm so
Exactly.
glad you stopped by. This is pretty cool. If someone wants to get a hold of you, how do they get a hold of you?
Our company is called Alaska Applied Sciences, Inc. We have a website,
Okay,
and I'm there.
okay.
So
that's
you'll
wonderful.
find some
Check them
pictures
out.
and videos of how we built it.
Wonderful. Yeah, I've enjoyed the pictures, and I've enjoyed the spec sheet that you have, and other people will too. So please go check Bill out.
There it is, thin shell concrete.
Wonderful.
You saw it here.
Yeah, yes, absolutely. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. This was really delightful. It's been really interesting talking to you.
Thank you.
And we have more to come, so please stay tuned. You're at World of Concrete.